A former Idaho police captain is under fire after he allegedly participated in a white nationalist conference under a pseudonym. So, according to the Idaho News, former police department officer Matt Bringleson used this pseudonym as a speaker for the American Renaissance Conference, which is a right-wing organization, and it's actually more of a right-wing newsletter. And they also do apparently some video conference stuff, meetings. Now, according to Boise Mayor Lauren McLean, this weekend I learned of Boise Police Department officer Matt Bringleson's participation in a white nationalist conference and his ongoing contributions to racist dehumanizing propaganda, basically writing for their newsletter. The fact that such an individual could serve in the department for 2 decades is appalling. Well, is that really surprising, though? Yes, of course it's appalling, but like, it's Idaho, and the far right has a pretty large influence in Idaho. And look, it's not because the people of Idaho are racist. No, it's because you have a lot of racists that have decided Idaho would be a great place to go and relocate to and create their racist utopia. And of course, they're actually being welcomed by some members of the Idaho Republican Party. They've set up shop. And not only that, but again, Idaho does have also a history of being a haven for white supremacists back in the 80s and 90s. You had the Aryan Nation. What a very, very big impact and very, very big presence there before it was broken up. So it shouldn't be surprising at all. This element exists and has positions, people in positions of power. According to the Idaho News, Brinkleson worked in multiple roles for the city's police department over the past 20 years, including field training officer, neighborhood contact officer, narcotics detective, SWAT member, patrol sergeant, NCO unit sergeant, Metro Task Force, gang unit, and training unit lieutenant. According to the Idaho Statesman, Ringleson appeared on the American Renaissance Conference speaker list under the apparent pseudonym Daniel Vineyard. So, now look, using a pseudonym, I don't know, maybe that's a good sign, because it means that he seems to be cognizant enough to know that his connections are a problem. He's a little bit self-aware, but then again, at the same time, not smart enough to just not do it. It's like the hatred is just like, oh, I can't help myself. Oh, I have to go and speak at this white nationalist conference because I hate black people. Oh, yeah, I can't resist. I know, I'll just come up with Daniel Vineyard. Now, the blog posts that appear to be authored by Bringleson in the Renaissance, which is a funny way to describe their rag, include him recounting to the point in his police career where he says he became aware of violent tendencies of blacks. Yeah, apparently referencing 1350. It's all good racists like to do. American Renaissance, by the way, is a website publication, former print magazine. The founder, Jared Taylor, characterized as a race realist, which, yeah. Now, posts on the site focus on white superiority and use arguments that people of color are inherently less intelligent than white people who contribute more to crime and other societal ills. Apparently, this guy, all of these people, by the way, are not smart enough to realize that the amount of melanin in your skin has nothing to do with your intelligence. They can't. Do you even science, bro? Can you even figure out basic biology? How people's brains work? But again, these so-called race realists, they've never been very smart. They, of course, ignore socioeconomic factors, historical issues like racism, Jim Crow, etc., and instead, basically, are modern-day phrenologists. These are the people that measure skull shapes to determine. Oh, see, you got a different skull shape. That means you're not smart. And certain people have certain skull shapes, obviously, and so that's what makes them predisposed to crime. No, there's nothing real about that. There's nothing real about race realism. Even nothing real about race. It's a construct. So it's funny calling this, kind of publication a renaissance is a slap in the face to any actual renaissance. And any, intelligent person whatsoever. It's a step back into the weirdo science, pseudoscience world of, again, measuring skulls. Now, finally, Mayor McLean said this. People of Boise deserve a police department worthy of their investment and trust. We are launching a full investigation accordingly. More to share in the coming days about this investigation and next steps. Well, if he's no longer on the police force, then what's the investigation going to do? Honestly. Sure, I mean, yeah, outing a racist is great to make sure that he doesn't get a job at another, police department. Or maybe, I don't know, if he retired, take the guy's pension. Other than that, I'm not sure, but there's also the possibility that since it is Idaho, that he might, that they might not do anything. So there's that. Nonetheless, there you have it. Another racist cop outed for racism. Shocker.